pushed for this. But I did ask for some news, which Nintendo has sure delivered. I hope you didn't mind that Deus Ex reference, I honestly couldn't help myself. So a plethora of Twilight Princess HD news has been revealed, more trailers, and more information about new content. In the last Famitsu scans, a new dungeon has been revealed. First noted as the Cave of Twilight, this dungeon can only be accessed via the Wolf Link amiibo. Well, turns out, it is really known as the Cave of Shadows, and it is more like an extra gauntlet in-game, kind of similar to the Cave of Ordeals. In other words, it probably has very little to do with Zelda Wii U. Which brings us to the following conclusion, that the amiibo has a different connection with Zelda Wii U, probably a cosmetic one. For example, this Cave of Shadows records the amount of hearts Link has at the end of the gauntlet. Perhaps the amiibo only records the amount of hearts to be transferred to Zelda Wii U. But anyways, that's just a theory. A game theory. Okay, I'll stop. Anyways, what I did notice is that TPHD is really banking on amiibo functionality. For example, with the Ganondorf amiibo, Link receives extra damage. Personally, I think this is something that should already be in the game, but that is probably why we have hero mode. Moving on. We do know who is reworking the graphics on the title, the developer known as Tantalus, who has a very interesting track record. They haven't really worked with Nintendo considerably in the past. In fact, this is their first time doing something like this, which is interesting why Nintendo gave the task of reworking TPHD's graphics to them. Perhaps it's because of resource constraints. Wind Waker HD was developed purely by the Zelda team. Maybe the sudden change for TPHD is due to Zelda Wii U. That Eiji Aonuma, along with his team, just wants to focus on completing that project. But at least, the new TPHD art looks really good. Plus, there are overall changes to the gameplay, most notably with the Poe Lantern. But moving on to some NX news, we are getting some interesting rumors. Apparently, Smash 4 will make an appearance on the NX, which is a move many analysts have predicted. So what can we take from this? Well, other top-selling Wii U games may also see a similar treatment. Titles such as Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon are prime targets. This move makes sense. Nintendo is launching its steps to move on the NX. But then we get information from a credible source, Emily Rogers, that a new Paper Mario game is in development, not for the NX, but for the Wii U, which is curious considering that a new Paper Mario game would be a great launch title. So how do these bits of information interact? Well, the NX will probably be backwards compatible. For example, if Smash 4 is appearing on the NX, it is conjectured to say that the NX will be backwards compatible. This new Paper Mario just might also be appearing on both the Wii U and the NX. Perhaps the game will even be revealed as a dual launch from the get-go. But in the interest of reason and fairness, I do want to bring up an opposing viewpoint. Jonas from Twitter has brought up an interesting insight. I will be paraphrasing what he said. The NX might not be backwards compatible due to the rumored AMD dual GPU/CPU chipset. Nintendo has previously used IBM/Motorola CPUs since the GameCube. If the AMD rumors are true, the NX will most likely be utilizing a more widely used x86-64 architecture. To understand why the NX might not be backwards compatible due to the new architecture, we can go back and look at the PS3. It was initially backwards compatible with the PS2. This is because it had the guts of a PS2 inside the PS3. Later on, Sony realized that this was too expensive and would later remove the PS2 backwards compatibility from the PS3. Today, the PS4 uses the x86-64 architecture, and again, it is not backwards compatible with any of its predecessors. So to summarize, if the NX will be utilizing the x86-64 architecture, they would have to pull a PS3 and have the physical guts of a Wii U inside of it, which may or may not be likely. But what do you guys think? Will the NX be backwards compatible or not? So how does Zelda Wii U fit into all of this? Well, from recent information, we can theorize that this title will face a similar question. Will Zelda Wii U be available on both the Wii U and the NX? Will this be done by backwards compatibility or by a brand new version on the NX? And how does the Wolf Link amiibo fit into this tale? Well, by both association and logic, the NX will more than likely have amiibo support. Big shocker, I know. But I do want to bring up a curious piece of information. During a conversation with Commonwealth Realm, he argued that due to all the new TPHD trailers, we won't be seeing a really in-depth Zelda Direct. As a result, we won't get any more Zelda Wii U info until E3 2016. I do see this line of reasoning. TPHD isn't due for release until another month. We will probably get more trailers leading up to it. Who knows, maybe we will get a Zelda Direct for its 30th anniversary, but I wouldn't get my hopes up until E3 comes along, which is only a few months away, I might add. We will probably get more trailers leading up to it. But back to the Wolf Link amiibo. The pessimist inside of me says that this amiibo will only provide a trivial component in Zelda Wii U, like refilling or unlocking hearts, for example. But what about Hyrule Warriors Legends? Well, we did get to see more information as well, since both Legends and TPHD are both slated for release in March. It is no surprise for Nintendo to market both games until launch. In other words, when March comes around, I do suspect several scenarios to come about. One possibility is that we won't learn anything about Zelda Wii U until E3. Another is that we will learn more about the title, but really not that much. Regardless, I do believe that there will be a substantial Nintendo Direct sometime between now and E3, in which we will learn more about the NX. But what did you guys think about the last episode? Weaponsmith Wolf says that he would like to know more about the Sheikah tribe in Zelda Wii U. I wholeheartedly agree. The Sheikah tribe is my personal favorite civilization in Zelda mythos. Austin Terry says that Zelda Wii U may be a prequel to Wind Waker, in which Hyrule is about to be flooded, with no hero to save them, which would explain why Link looks so different. And now for my favorite one. Natsumi Westra says that since this year marks both Pokemon and Zelda's anniversary, perhaps we will see some crossover between the two. I welcome that idea just because how fun it sounds. I already love the idea of Detective Pikachu, and apparently there is a petition to get Danny DeVito to voice. Maybe there will be a crossover, who knows? But what do you guys think? What kind of information about Zelda Wii U do you think we will come across? Comment below and I'll feature your name in the next video. In episode 4, we will talk about potential theories. It won't come out until 2 weeks from now. I am working on a new video, which may or may not have the hero of time, Link, go up against the Hero King himself, Marth. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you guys. I hope you all the absolute best in all your endeavors. And this is the video of the day.
So where are we heading now, Mac?
Well, we have to make it back to HMK's. Problem is that we don't have a ride to get there. And it looks like you just crashed yours.
Pumpkin says Chris has a car. Oh, a Hummer actually.
Chris?
Yeah, Zelda Conqueror.
Oh, right. I wonder what he's been up to.
Chris, what are you doing?
Oh hey Jesse, I'm just here watching my favorite anime.
Right. We need to be heading out. Did you buy gas for the trip?
You know it. How long is the road trip by the way?